Hello everyone, today I am showing you my layout for Peartree Cutfiles design team using this super cute Summer Sun cut file, which is an older cut file. This Friday I am participating in Friday favorites for Peartree. So this is one of my favorites that I've had in my stash for quite some time, but I just never got around to using it yet. So I decided to cut it out, and I forgot to turn my camera on at the very beginning. So the first thing I did with this was cut it out. This is from the July 2021 release, but it's still on the website, and I'll link it below for you. And I left it sitting on my Cricut mat, and then I just used some of the mustard seed Distress Oxide, and I just used my blending brush and just kind of blended the yellow on the bottom of the sun word at the very bottom, just to give it some added dimension and some texture. And then I've pulled the rest of it off of my mat, and I've cut this sun itself out of another layer of yellow. I had to cut the entire file, and then I just kind of trimmed around where just the sun pieces are and glued them on top of the white to get the yellow for my sun. So I'm actually going to make a shaker out of the sun. I think that's going to be a good idea to do with the middle of it. So I'm going to leave that open for now, and then this is how I back my letters by hand. I'm just going to show you this one, maybe another one here, and then I'll speed up the video so you don't have to watch me gluing down all of them and cutting them out. But I just kind of cut around the letter. I used the letter itself from the Cricut mat, and then I just cut out around it and leave a little bit of a border so that I can glue it down. So I'm just using papers from the A Slice of Summer collection from Echo Park, which is one of my favorite summer collections. And I'm still using my scraps and bits from that collection over here for some summery layouts. And I'm just showing you one more letter here of how I back this cut file by hand whenever I'm doing different patterns on all of those letters. So I'm just going to continue to back it, and then here I'll show you the finished product in just a moment here. I'm going to do some of this blue pattern and then some florals. So there is the completed backed cut file, and then here I'm just going to make my shaker pocket. So I use some acetate sheets. These are actually transparencies from like an old laminator. So I know it's kind of old school, but they were pretty cheap on Amazon, so that's what I ordered. And I just glue around that little circle of the sun and cut that out using the same method that I back my letters for. And I just kind of put a piece of paper over that as I stuck that down because I didn't want to get fingerprints all over it. So then I just cut down some foam tape here into little strips, little teeny tiny strips, just to go around my sun to give it that little pocket for the shaker to hold the little pieces inside. And then I cut one more circle out of the acetate sheet to put on the bottom part. So here I'm just finishing up the foam tape on that. It is a little finicky. It's kind of hard to work with. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I do love the end result and how they turn out in the end. So I just kind of bear with it and just keep with it, and it turns out great in the end. So here I'm just cutting that second circle, and then you'll watch me fill it up and totally make a mess of the whole thing. And I added way too many, so I didn't mean for it to come out that fast. It just did, and I dumped them all over the place. So luckily my kids are not in the room with me today because they would have had a field day with these little stars. So I just kind of took some of those out and put my backing piece on top of the foam, and that's my finished shaker pocket. So sorry if you hear me sniffling about, my allergies are really kicking my butt this time of year, so I'm battling that. So I've just matted my photo with some smooth white cardstock. Obviously it doesn't pop on the white background, so I'm going to mat it again with this yellow just to make it pop, and then I'm going to distress the edges of that. And then I have another little scrap that I found later on in this too of the blue, so I think I'm going to actually add that in behind this too. But first I'm going to cut out some border strips and pop those in behind my kind of like triangle piece in this layout. So I'm just gonna tuck these in right on the edge there, just for some added effect. I actually had this layout kind of designed in my head when I laid down to sleep one night, and I drew it out on a piece of paper so that I wouldn't forget my idea of what I wanted to do with this. And I actually stuck really close to my sketch, which is not really like me. Usually I veer off and have different ideas whenever I'm doing this, but I stuck really close to this one. This is the idea that I had, so it came out just like what I had in mind, and it was super quick and easy. Probably the longest thing in this one was backing that cut file. That took a pretty long time, and cutting the foam down for the shaker took a while too. So here's that little scrap piece that I had left over. I'm just going to tuck that behind my photo for just some added texture there and just pop all that down. I have a whole bunch of these extra pop dots or 3D foam circle things, I guess, that I'm trying to use up. So I've used all of those on there, but I cut that part out of the video so you didn't have to watch me sticking down every single circle because it was tedious. And this ended up a little crooked, so I had to fix it, but I think it's still a little off, but it's okay. Usually I'm pretty particular about getting things straight and using my T-square roller, but this one I just wanted to do a quick layout and get it done before I have to go get my kids daycare, so I just did this one really fast. So here I'm just going to add in just a few embellishments, some chipboards and things, and then I'm going to do some splatters in some Distress Oxide and scattered straw. So I'll pop in at the end with the finished result. So here is the finished layout. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and you can grab this cut file from the Peartree Cutfiles store, and I will link that below for you to make it easy. And we're having different challenges all month long this month, so you can play along with us each and every day. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.